Hello ladies, welcome in. I am so happy to be with you today. We are talking about men who harvest from your feminine energy versus men who sow into your feminine energy. This is an extremely important topic because what I see happening in the world today with my clients, with my community, with women in general, is a lot of women are blocked from making money. They're blocked from their creativity, from their sensual energy, and they feel that their health and their energy is just at its all-time low. Why this is majority of the time is because men are taking their feminine energy and they don't even know it. So we're going to talk about how to see the clear difference in men who are harvesting from you versus men who are sowing into you, how to spot that type of man, how to protect your energy, and qualities to look for in these men going forward. So welcome in ladies, so good to be with you. There's a concept that I've touched on before on this channel and with you ladies, and it's still happening in the world today, but we don't see it because it looks completely different than it used to in ancient times. So in ancient Egyptian times, what men would do, highly successful, high status men, is they would hire high priestesses to sleep with so that they could gain more spiritual connection, so that they could gain more abundance and higher finances, higher success for their life. So a high priestess was a woman who was very strongly connected spiritually. She was very connected to God, very connected to her feminine energy. She took care of her mind, of her body. She was a divine feminine. And in these times, what was normal is that men would hire these women. They would often hire groups of women, sleep with them every single day for a week, for a month, and stack up their feminine energy. Harvest their feminine energy. So when I say men who harvest your feminine energy, this is what it means: to soak up and transfer that energy. When you sleep with someone, energy is transferred. It doesn't matter what. I've heard a lot of excuses. No, but we use protection and all this. There's always an energetic transfer when you sleep with someone. And we're going to talk about more than just sleeping with someone. There's so many ways that men are harvesting women's feminine energy and they don't even know. So in these times when men would have this exchange and they would receive all of this beautiful feminine energy, well, what is happening on the other side now is all of that stress, all of that masculine energy burden and trauma and emotional stress and burnout that man has been feeling. He dumps it right into the woman and she absorbs that. So that is still happening in today's time. But what we don't see is that men are choosing women to take this feminine energy from. And so how this applies to the modern world today is that men will see specific women who are glowing, who are just so highly in their feminine energy, and they want it. They don't so much want the feminine energy, but they want what it will do for their masculine energy. There's nothing wrong with this. It is a beautiful thing. It's how we work as divine feminine and masculine energy beings. But what I have a problem with is men who are doing this to you ladies and not giving you the palace, not giving you the priestess, the queen treatment, not giving you an exchange that's going to not only refill your feminine energy, but take you to the next level. Men who sow into your feminine energy will have this exchange with you, but they will sow a seed, whether it is money that they provide for you, whether it's a lifestyle, whether it's education, whether it's just a safe home and safe relationship, safe emotional space. If men are not providing this for you, they are harvesting from you. It is that plain and simple. A question that I get asked a lot is, what do I think of providing and the sprinkle and all of that movement? I am all for men providing. What I'm not for is women only searching for men to provide for them, because it will become a transaction. And just like in these ancient Egyptian days, when men were hiring these high priestesses, yes, they were getting paid, but it was still a transaction. So why I have an issue with the sprinkle movement is because it is still a transactional basis. And that is not what's going to serve your feminine energy. Because if it's a transaction, it's not a seed. It's like giving someone a fruit rather than a seed. A seed can grow 1,000 pieces of fruit, but one piece of fruit, what is that going to do for your feminine energy? And so let's get into how to protect your feminine energy, how to know the difference in men who are going to harvest from you versus men who are going to sow into you. Also, a side note too, if you think about the idea of harvesting, we as women, we are natural harvesters. So I heard this funny quote talking about why women love stores like Marshall's and TJ Maxx and Home Goods. If you don't have any of these stores near you, it's pretty much a woman's heaven. It's cooking materials, bed sheets, clothes, like anything that you can think of. It is in this store. It's everything that's just like our girly Pinterest dream come to life. And what happens when we shop at these stores is we just want so much stuff. We go in there for one thing, we come out with 10. Why? It's because it's in our nature as women to harvest. And while we might not be out in the field physically picking berries, picking fruit the way that we used to and harvesting, we are still in this gathering mentality. And what is happening today is as a lot of men are shifting into their feminine energy, they are becoming the harvesters. So we wonder, why do men want to go 50-50 with me? Why do they say things like, I want to build an empire with you? They're in their feminine energy. Those are the wrong men that you are choosing. And until we stop giving attention and our energy and our divine feminine energy to these men, they will continue to think that harvesting is their job. It is not their job. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now is, before we move into how to protect your feminine energy from this, there's a trend that I see on social media so much, and it's not an actual trend, but it's something that I just noticed. Women will start dating this man who, okay, let's say that a woman is an influencer or she's a content creator, she's very successful. She will start dating this man who might not have a ton of followers, might not be famous, might not have his empire built yet. She will start dating this man. His profile, I'm talking specifically with social media content creator relationships, his profile will start to grow. He will have the momentum and energy all of a sudden to make his own videos, to kind of become an influencer. What I always see happens is a breakup. He leaves her and does his own thing. This happens not only with social media, but it happens with regular day jobs. It happens with men who come to you and maybe they try to get you to lower your standards a bit, or they try to make you build an empire with them, go 50-50 with him. They're harvesting your feminine energy and they know it and you know it. And it is why you never feel safe to go the next level in your feminine energy, but safe enough to fully trust him and open up to him. And so I started wondering, why is it that as soon as this man becomes famous and his page starts growing, he leaves her? It is because now that he is full of this abundance, now that he is full of this success, she is drained. Because he has taken it all. He has harvested it all. This is where I get really angry, because I feel my purpose on this planet is to protect and defend women. And when I see this trend happening, I think it's so clear he is harvesting from her. We've got to cut this out. That is why I'm so passionate to make this video. And so another trend that I see where this will happen, long-term girlfriends. I'm not talking about if you are 18, 19, that's a different story. I'm talking about if you're in your 20s or above and you are with a man for years. There is no ring on your finger. There's no proposal in sight. He is harvesting your feminine energy. A lot of the times men will say this excuse to you. I'm just trying to build up my empire. I'm just trying to stack my money together. I'm just trying to make sure I can have a life where I take care of us. One of the highest issues why people break up, why people go through divorces, is because women believe these words before they've actually seen the actions. And they go into the relationship, yeah, I'll trust that this will happen in the future. If you want to protect yourself from ever getting taken advantage of, only believe the actions that are happening right now. Only believe the words that are aligning with the present actions, not the future actions. And so when men have you around as their girlfriend for years and years, they are getting so many benefits. They get to come home after a long, stressful day of work to a beautiful smile, happy energy, sensual energy. You just being a woman, you waking up, you're full of sensual energy. You're full of creativity. It's your gift as a woman. Men just being in your presence, they soak this up and it gives them energy and momentum to now go out and build their empire. And so while being a girlfriend, yes, it might be fun, and I'm talking about long-term girlfriends here. if you are with him for longer than a year, he is harvesting your feminine energy and you are going to be left depleted. That is why so many of the times women will say, well, he was with me for 6 years. He broke up with me and proposed to another girl in 6 months. He had so much divine masculine energy because he was harvesting for so long that now he knows exactly what he wants. He sees a woman who will not let him harvest her feminine energy and goes, okay, I need to put a ring on this. I need to fully pursue her because she's holding this queen energy and I know that it will pour into me. But she has standards. And so I'm going to continue to pour into her standards, to sow into her so that I can get just a taste of her queen energy. Even if you are feeling, Alexis, I am a girlfriend right now, or I have a man who I feel is harvesting for me today, you can change that. You can reverse it around. We talk about this so much here, how you can decide in one moment to change your energy and it will shift your reality. Just your decision to say no more. I need to see higher standards. I need to see more sowing before I open up any more energy. That is going to change your relationship. Okay, what else did I want to say here? 50-50, men building with women. These are just examples of how men harvest. Another example too is men just looking at you. And we'll get into this and how to protect your energy, but I will never forget this one moment. I was driving in the back of a taxi and I was talking with the taxi driver. We had a long drive. We had a great conversation, but I noticed, I feel like I kind of just want to have my own time. I feel I've been talking with him so much and I feel a bit tired now. What shocked me, it shouldn't have shocked me, but it did, is when I went to get out of the taxi, when I got to my destination, the driver turns around to me, he goes, this was so great. I feel like I can run a marathon. I loved talking with you. I was like, Alexis, how much feminine energy of yours did this man just harvest? Just in a simple conversation. And so it's not just men sleeping with you and being your boyfriend and all this where men are harvesting, it's simple things. And if you can start to catch where men are harvesting rather than sowing into you, first of all, it's going to completely change your relationships. You will see your man step up in ways that you have never seen before. And you will notice that you have more energy to go and build your empire, to pour into your health, into your beauty, into your finances, into your business, your passions. So now let's get into how to protect your energy. Okay. Let's see. Step number 1, stop sleeping with men. You girls know where I stand on this. I am saving myself for marriage. I do not sleep with men unless there's a ring on it and unless we are married. This decision has saved me from so many men who have wanted to harvest that feminine energy, but instead I said, nope, this is my standard. And because of that, I've been able to build my business, multiple businesses. I've been able to travel the world, pour into my health. I feel that my health is at the best that it's ever been. And I truly believe that if I was sleeping with men, even if I had slept with one man, that it wouldn't be the same that it is right now because he would have part of that vitality. And then on top of that, I would be trying to now process and get through all of the trauma, all of the blocked emotions, all of the wounds that he has poured into me. Your body is not a dumpster. Your body is a garden, your body is a temple. And when you open it up to sleep with men who are not sowing into you, who are not truly stepping into the man that you need, they are dumping into you. And then you wonder, why do I feel low? Why do I feel like I can't build my business? Why do I feel like I can't go the next level with my standards? It's because now you have limiting beliefs, you have stories. Just imagine all the inner work that you do. A lot of you ladies are in my programs. You watch these videos. I know in your free time, you're reading books, listening to podcasts, doing courses. Now imagine you do all of that and you sleep with a man. He gets all of that. There's not just energy that's exchanged. There's at a deeper level cells and DNA, your DNA that is holding these new beliefs that you have created through your deep inner work. He is getting to harvest from that. That is why men will do anything just to get this from a woman, because there's so much power. This power is often disguised as they just want to receive pleasure. It's power that they want. You are the one that holds this power. And so stop sleeping with men. That is the quickest way that you are going to keep your energy only for the men who will sow into you. And so when you do this too, you'll notice even the men that court you, the men that you start to date, once you decide, like fully decide, my body is only for my husband, the men that come around to you will be different. I always had this belief, and I had this inner knowing that I want to save my body for my husband. When I was a teenager, I made that decision. But honestly, I really struggled with it until I was about 21, 22. I started to ask my friends, do you regret sleeping with your boyfriend? Do you regret sleeping with men who were not your husband? Every single one of these women told me, Alexis, I wish that I had waited longer. What you are doing, keep doing it. There were so many moments where I wanted to change my mind and change this decision, but I'm so grateful that I didn't. What I also want to note is even if you have slept with other men, this is not the end of the world. You can always cut those cords and you can decide today, no more. Because one decision right now, even if it's just one less man in your future that has access to your body, it is going to change your life. So it doesn't matter if you are sitting here and going, I've already slept with men. You are not at rock bottom. I get so many messages, Alexis, what do I do? It's not the end of the world. You just have to shed the energy that he has put into you and decide from now on, my body is for my husband. This is going to change everything. Even just being around men. If there is a man who is not aligned for your life, your body will tell you. But if it's mixed with these chemicals because you're sleeping with him, kissing him, engaging in all of these physical activities, your body is going to put on these rose-colored glasses, because what has happened is it goes, we have slept with this man, we have mated with him, so now any red flag in him, we don't want to see it, because it will scare us so much, and we've already made this biological decision. So let's just make sure that our body keeps seeing him as a good man, otherwise it will scare us too much. Your body is always trying to keep you safe. So that's why the rose-colored glasses go on. You can't see any red flags. Even when you kiss a man, there's so much oxytocin that's released where it just goes blind. We don't see anything that's wrong with him. When you honor your body and keep it sacred in this way, it becomes so clear who is aligned for you and who is not. The first steps, cutting the cord to the unaligned relationship. I see this in my clients and students too. The man that they are with, when he is harvesting from them, whether it's just being in their space and energy, he gets so successful in his career. The minute they cut that cord, his career goes down. I'm not saying that I want this for men. I'm saying that this is a pattern that I see again and again. Your income, your business mind, your creativity rises. A lot of the times, the man who is harvesting from you, it will drop. And so be very mindful about who you share your body, who you share your energy with. This is how you will stay protected. Also, I want to go back to standards of dating. If you are scared like I was to tell a man, I am waiting till marriage to have sex, I want you to get so crystal clear, so embodied in this decision and say, you know what? I am deciding this full body. I decide this is what I want. I'm not doing anything else. I'm only available for men who will honor and respect my body. You will know that you've made that decision because the men that you attract will start to be different. Once I actually made this decision, I attracted men who I would share this with and they would go, you are my dream woman. I didn't know that women still had this standard, still had this belief. And men want to protect that. The way that men protect important to me now, dating, it is so different than it used to be when my energy was wobbly with that decision. And so it has to be full body. It has to be you deciding, this is my standard. The men that you'll attract, they will be kings rather than jokers. Okay, number 2. Cover your assets. What I mean by this is, okay, this one can be a bit triggering, so I want to make sure that I explain it well. When you have your body exposed, men can take one look at you and think to themselves, just like that taxi driver told me, I wasn't exposed, this was just in a conversation. Men can take one look at you and get so excited and filled with energy because you are taking your sensual energy, putting it on display, And now men can go, let's look at this display. What do we want to harvest? Okay, we want to harvest that. That's why a lot of women who dress more provocatively, they feel low. They feel like they have a low vibration, and they attract partners who mirror this back. It's because their body, their precious temple is on display in a way where men are taking it. I'm very careful with saying this because I am a woman who believes that we should not have to change ourselves to make other men at peace, to make them control their behavior. I am not in agreement with that. I believe men should be disciplined enough in their thoughts and in their beliefs and in their mindset that they should be able to have self-control. But what I am saying is love your body so much that the sensual parts of it, the very feminine essence of it, is not on display for men to harvest. That is for you to continue to pour into yourself. And so I'm talking about the extreme. You can have cleavage, you can have your curves shown. I'm all for having your curves in the clothes that you like and just feeling good in your body, feeling good in your own style. But be careful on overdoing it. That is what I want to say, because men can take one look, harvest, and you wonder, why is my energy drained? That's why it feels uncomfortable if you're walking by a group of, let's say, construction workers, and they're catcalling you and looking at you. If you are dressed more revealing, it feels icky. It's because they've taken that energy that you've worked so hard to build. No more. So cover your assets. Okay, number 3. This is for my girls who are in my magnetically polarizing program. You know this energy, we literally had a whole training on it, and I'm gonna share it with you here. Innocent Vixen energy. Magnetically polarizing, it is my course for dark feminine energy, how to unlock that side of you that is so firm in your boundaries, that gets self-respect. I made this course as a love letter, pretty much as a love training to my younger self, because I used to be such a good girl. I used to be such a people pleaser where I would smile all the time, nod my head, try to make other people happy. I would attract men who would take advantage of that. Where now I've shifted from being the golden retriever to being the black cat. This course is how I did it. The trainings in there will wake up that dark feminine energy to see yourself as that queen and carry yourself like her. Because there's so much of the times where we dim ourselves down, we're people pleasers, we're anxious. I want you to feel so empowered in your divine feminine energy that saying no becomes easy, that setting standards becomes easy, attracting men who provide for you and who take care of you and who actually pour into you like a queen and respect and honor you. That it's carried and it's said in your energy that this is your standard. And so this program means a lot to me because it is the exact training that has taken me from how I was a few years ago. You ladies can just see my previous YouTube videos versus how I carry myself now. So with this innocent vixen energy, there was a training that I did in this course on this energy. And vixen, you can think of it as that very sly, very smart, clever, dark feminine energy. But the innocence of your light feminine energy, when you pair the two together, the world is yours. So innocent vixen energy is what I call this. And an example of this, so let's say that dating, where I live in Dubai, I live near the downtown area and two popular areas in Dubai, the downtown area and then Palm Jumeirah. So I met this wonderful man who lived in the Palm Jumeirah area. And let's say for example, how the innocent vixen energy would apply here. When he says to me something like, I would love to take you to dinner. I have a restaurant on the Palm that I'd like us to go to. And my thing is I don't feel comfortable having men pick me up because then they'll see where I live. And so I don't like that offer unless I already know the man. So let's say that he says, okay, let's just meet at this restaurant on Friday night. I don't want to drive 45 minutes to go to this restaurant. And so you can kind of see the sowing versus harvesting, how it can switch just from your energy switching and just from a decision. That's why I say if you feel I could never be a woman that demands this treatment, yes, you can. It starts with a decision like this. So if he says something like, let's meet at this restaurant at 7:30 p.m. I might look at the address and say, I don't want to drive there. If I drive there, it's almost like he's just getting some of this energy for free without effort being put in. So how could I have him so into me, so into my feminine energy before he gets just a taste of it at dinner? It would be something like this. I have such a fear of driving to the Palm. If only this restaurant was close to where I live. Something like that, saying it through text, saying it through a voice message, bringing this innocent vixen energy. The vixen is smart. It's okay. I'm not going to just show up and meet halfway. There has to be some sowing first. I can't grow. I can't have my feminine energy even blossom if there's no seed that's sown into it. So how would it blossom at dinner? The innocence would be something such as, I have such a fear of driving at night, or I have such a fear of driving to the Palm area. What could I do? I really want to go to this dinner with you. Leaning back, letting him come up with a solution. No worries, I'll send a car for you. Or no worries, I'll find a place that is super close to where you live. See how that energy went from, hey Alexis, you meet me here so that I can see you, harvest from you, enjoy this conversation, to actually, here, I will sow into you. Let me provide for you by arranging a car. Let me provide for you by finding a place that better fits your energy and your schedule and your time. One simple switch of your energy becoming that innocent vixen mode can take a man from harvesting from you versus sowing into you. And it's so important in relationships, how that relationship starts. It really determines the course of the relationship. Now, I'm someone that I believe energy can be switched at any time, but it's so much easier. It's like, you know, when you are rolling a snowball and it's just building and building, it's so much easier to just keep building that snowball, keep inspiring the energy where he provides and pours into you, rather than trying to first form the snowball and like pack it together and then build it. It's so much easier just to be in that energy, that queen energy from the start, and build and build. And so innocent vixen energy. These types of trainings, if you like them, check out the Magnetically Polarizing program. It is one of my most popular programs. A lot of my business students love that program because it activates their savage energy in the way that they show up with their business and with their finances. You need your sensual energy to come to life if you want to make money, if you want to grow your business, if you want to set your standards. It's so much easier when you feel like you're just oozing in your sensuality and in your beautiful feminine energy to set a standard with a man. Rather than if you feel disconnected from your body, from your dark feminine energy, I don't think I could ever say something like that to a man. I would probably just end up meeting him at the dinner spot instead. Your dark feminine energy being activated will change your life. I have so much content here on YouTube for it as well. Okay. Number 4, have the self-care and the health of a queen. This one might be the most important one that I say this whole video. Last night I was reading the book of Esther, and in that book it was talking about how before Esther was even prepared to go to the king. If you haven't heard the story of Esther, it is my absolute favorite in the Bible. So Esther, she was a woman who was handpicked to have the potential for being the queen for a king who is on the search. And so I was absolutely shocked. I've read the story before, but when I was reading it, I thought, oh my gosh, how did I not catch this? For 6 months, Esther was bathed and covered in the oil of myrrh. For another 6 months, she was being oiled and bathed, her hair soaked in, her body soaked in this oil. I forget the other oil that she was prepared with, but she was soaked in this oil 12 months in advance just to go and meet the king. Just to be prepared for him. And I started thinking how I love the Bible because it's literally the blueprint for feminine and masculine energy. How we as women, when we give ourselves that care like a queen, the health like a queen, when we pour in nutrients, vitamins, vitality to our body, when we eat foods that hold electricity rather than literally nothing, processed foods, we electrify our body to come alive, and that increases our vibration, increases our beauty, increases our health. The more that you are drowning in this health and beauty and vitality, the higher your vibration will be, and the quicker, the easier you call in your king. King energy, men who sow into feminine energy. Kings will be the ones to give you the palace. Jokers are the ones to play games with you. They're the ones harvesting from your feminine energy. They're playing games with you, and they are feeding off of you laughing or crying. They take that energy, pour it into themselves, go on to the next. I don't want any woman in this world to be with a joker. In fact, let's extinct the jokers right now by only being available for kings. One way that you are going to call in king energy is by drowning yourself in health and beauty and self-care. When you are glowing in your feminine energy, I'm talking about from the food that you eat, the mindset that you have, the inner work that you are doing, the beauty, like just oiling your hair, things like that. And then you go walking in a random area, you will not attract the attention of jokers because they know I can't afford this woman. Her skin is glowing. I don't even have money to put food on the table for her. But kings will see you from a mile away because they're blinded by your glowing skin. They're blinded by your glowing aura. They will be the ones to see you, to seek you. You literally don't have to do anything other than show up. It's such a gift to be a woman. You just have to show up. And men will see you. Kings will see you. And when a king sees you, he knows because unconsciously you are giving off this scent of health. And kings love healthy women because they want to build empires. They want a woman who is strong in her mind. They want a woman who has her passions, who takes care of her body because she's going to take care of his empire. And so kings are spotted, or they can spot queens so well. You literally never have to chase a man. If you're chasing a man, he's already harvesting from you and he's never going to give you a palace. Only be available for kings who will give you a palace, who will give you a kingdom. And literally, if you want to take that, go for it, girl. Okay. What else did I want to say on this? Yes, so kings will provide you that palace because they'll see you glowing from a mile away and go, that's my queen. So giving yourself that self-care and that love. What else? So have the self-care as a queen. Yes. Okay, something else that I want to say. This is a bonus note. I'm so tired of men asking, what do you bring to the table to women? You know what I bring to the table? Let's talk about actually what the Bible says. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Remember that conversation that we were just having where I said, as soon as a woman breaks up with a man, his income, his business abundance goes down and hers goes up. I see this pattern so many times. I've seen it in my own life. Why does this pattern happen? Because she is carrying the favor of the Lord. God loves his daughters and he blesses and takes care of them. And so where you go, the abundance follows. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So the next time a man asks you, what do you bring to the table? I bring favor. And you cannot get that from any other source. And so I wanted to add this as a bonus note because I get messages, Alexis, he asks me what value do I bring? What do I bring to the table? I'm so tired of hearing that question, honestly. It's like, you showing up is the value. Your smile is the value. Like, that's priceless. No amount of money could ever pay for the energy that you bring. Like, men try by hiring the high priestesses back in the day. And in a way, men still do this now, but it's never going to be the same. It's never going to ever equal to an amount of money, because if it did, then why do men need more and more? What do you bring to the table? You bring favor. And that is more valuable than anything in this world. Okay, next point. I'll just get carried away. Don't smile or engage as much with random men. This is how you protect your energy. So like I was saying with that taxi driver, when we were having that conversation and I was feeling, I don't really want to talk as much, like I'm feeling a bit burnt out. I needed those lessons to know how to protect my energy and how it was being taken. Because when he looked at me and he goes, I feel like I can go and run a marathon. That should have been my hint. Ding, 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 Alexis. Stop engaging with men as much unless they are sewing into you. If he was giving me that ride for free, sure. But men, just having a conversation with you, I want to give you this energetic permission right now too, that you don't owe men anything. I've been in elevators with men who want to start a conversation, and that good girl mask might have come up and said, oh yeah, let's talk with him because he wants to. No, I don't have to speak with him. A smile could do, not saying anything or just short answers. Like, you don't owe men anything. And we've been so programmed as women to feel like it's normal to just give back when a man is giving. That's 50-50 with your energy still. We don't do that. Kings would never do that. They would first approach you with something of value like a gift or gold or jewelry before they ever expect to even touch you, to put a finger on you. So level up your standards to attract kings and stop being available for jokers who just want to harvest from you. Why do they even have the time to harvest in the first place? Can you imagine that a man is running around the fields, picking flowers, picking berries, picking fruit, and going, this is so fun. This is how I get filled up. Because when men take your feminine energy and they do 50-50 with you and you are providing for them, that's what they are doing. They're running around this grass field, picking up flowers, picking up women, and taking their energy. That gives me the ick. Honestly, can you imagine a king doing that? No, he's sitting in his palace, building his empire. He's not running around picking up flowers, harvesting, picking berries. Kings only. Men who sow into you only. I want to leave by giving this example. So I don't watch a ton of reality TV except this one show I will watch because I've also studied psychology and I love looking at this show from a psychological view. The show is Love is Blind. If you've seen it, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I watched Love is Blind, the UK version. I actually didn't even finish it. I don't know if I can. It's like, it's such a struggle to watch. I finished Love is Blind Dubai so quick, like in 2 weeks. Love is Blind UK. You know what I see? Men complaining about providing. Almost every single one of those men, they're doing 50-50 with the partner that they've picked. But there's one specific example that's gonna sum up this video and make it so clear how to spot the men who will harvest from you. There's one man, I'm not gonna name names, but you'll probably know who I'm talking about, on Love is Blind UK, who in the pods, I knew he is never gonna provide for this woman. He was in between picking two different women, and one of the girls he really liked, until he had a dream about this other one. And in the dream, I can't believe that he even said this. In the dream, he comes to the woman the next day in the pods. He's like, I had a dream about you. Our bodies were together and I could just feel every part of you. I was like, yikes, girl, run. And he said, he was interviewed by the cameras. He's like, I just feel that this woman, like her sexual energy, her sexuality, it's just stronger. So this other woman he completely said bye to, who he had a great connection with, he's like, I just have more sexual energy. Like she just gives me this vibe. So he ends up picking this woman. They get engaged. I love this woman, by the way. I think she's just incredible. And he says something. He's like, if my mom knew that I was providing, like she would flip her lid or something like that. He was complaining about how he didn't want to provide, how he wants to do 50-50 and he's never gonna be a provider. And I was like, I knew it. The key here is men who move fast sexually are always going to harvest from you. They are not connected to their masculine energy. No self-discipline, no self-control, no connection to their own divine masculine to choose a woman who reflects their masculine energy with healthy feminine energy. If men move very fast sexually and they feel that you can do that as a woman, it means that they see you not having any standards and not honoring your body. And so if your body is not worth honoring, it must not be that valuable, is what they're thinking. If it's not that valuable, why would I ever provide for it? Why would I ever sow into it? It's like looking at a grass field or a dirt field that's dead and looking at that soil and going, not that valuable. This would never be a garden. It doesn't even treat itself like a garden. Why would I put a seed in there? versus this soil, this woman who is healthy, who has done inner work. She sets her standards. She knows my garden is only for people who will sow into it. You can't just go and stomp on this dirt. It's healthy. It's in its feminine energy. That dirt is only available for men who will sow into it. And so the way that you treat your body and protect it and honor it, that is why it is so important, because it will attract men who will stomp on it, who will harvest from it, like pull up like every little leaf that you're providing, the first leaf they pull up, versus the kings who will go, this soil has a fence around it, knows how valuable it is, has a high price. They are charging me just to put a seed in there. Now that I'm saying this, I'm like, oh my gosh, that could be taken a lot of different ways. But I'm talking about the dirt. I'm talking about the seed here. This dirt knows I am valuable. You want to put a seed in here? You want to grow something? Provide me a palace. Provide me nutrients. Water me, pour into me. Providing is not just financial too, it's emotional, it is physical, it is mental. And so a king means providing financially, providing emotionally, having a strong mindset, good, healthy masculine energy, a connection to himself, high level of consciousness and self-awareness. Only be available for kings. I also want to say too, I really appreciate Love is Blind Dubai because it shows a different perspective and a different culture. In Love is Blind Dubai, they never kiss on the screen. You will never see the couples touching a lot. You will never see them sleeping with each other. Where Love is Blind US and UK, the couples get engaged after not seeing each other, meet, go on vacation, share a bedroom, oftentimes sleep with each other within like a couple of weeks. And in Dubai, it's like, we're not married. Why would you ever think that you can share a bed with me? I love that they brought this perspective into the show because I think it's really healthy and empowering for women to see how much effort. The effort is, you better meet me at the altar and promise me, my family, and our future generations that you will be my king, that you will claim me publicly, and that you will provide for me. That's king energy. That is only what you are available for. So, be with men who will sow into your feminine energy, not harvest from you, and you will attract your king. Thank you so much, ladies, for watching. I know that this is definitely a more dark feminine energy video. If you like this type of content, you will love Magnetically Polarizing. I cannot wait to see you in there, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, ladies.